So very good morning dear student. Welcome back in today's science class. So dear student, as you know that in the last class we started the new chapter of your textbook, the chapter number 16 that is light, reflection and refraction. So if you remember that in the last or previous class we are discuss the first about the reflection of light, then we discuss the different types of reflection on the basis of what the type of surface means either the reflection of light is taking place by the smooth surface or the rough surface. So on the basis of that there are the two different types of water, the reflection, the regular reflection and a diffuse reflection. Then after we discuss the laws of reflection. So in laws of reflection there are the two main laws of reflection. First one that we discuss, the angle of incident is always equal to the angle of reflection, means we can say that the angle of I is equal to what? Angle of R, that equal to the angle R. And second thing, that the incident ray, reflected ray and normal, all these three lie at the same point or in a same plane. So these things we already discussed, and I hope nobody have any doubt regarding the previous class. If you have any doubt you can ask me in a coming class. Now today we are going to discuss another topic or another phenomena of this chapter, that is about refraction. Okay, so already you see that in the previous class we discussed what? The reflection of light. Means reflection of light means what? The bouncing back of light in a same medium, that is called what? That is called the reflection of light. But what happens if this light is travel through one medium, then it comes or enter into another type of medium? Then what happened with this light? So these things can be understood by the process of refraction. So refraction means what? The bending of light when it's enter into from one medium to the any other medium. That is called what? That is called the refraction. So now you see in your textbook this page 191. So we discuss about what? That about this refraction. And before that, once again I repeat the topic that we discussed in the second class, that we discussed about what? In that class we discussed about the multiple refraction. So the number of images we can find by the formula that is I gave you in the last class. This n is equal to 360 divided by theta minus 1. So by applying this formula, we can find the number of images, and on the basis of this principle, multiple reflection. On the basis of a multiple reflection, we have one simple device that is called what? The kaleidoscope. So kaleidoscope means that is a simple instrument or a device which is based on what? The multiple reflection. So now today we are going to discuss or we are going to study about what? Another part of this chapter, that is refraction. So now you see in your textbook page 191. In last class we discussed about what? The phenomena of reflection, means the bouncing back of light into the same medium. But what happened when the light passed through any transparent material? Suppose that it passed through a water, is maybe transparent, maybe passed through any other liquid or any other material like glass. So what happens when the light passes from one medium to the another medium? Maybe from the air, it maybe passes from the this air or a water or any oil or any different types of glass slab is there. So now let us we discuss these things by the simple activity. Suppose that if you kept one pencil into the water glass, that glass and we have some water in that, and we kept one pencil is there. So we can see that the some part which is immersed into the water, that should be looks like a banding, banded, means some part maybe the band, the bottom portions may be banded. So why this happening? So these things can be happen due to water by the refraction of light. So the pencil appears to be the band because the light on entering from air into water bends from its path. So this process means the phenomena of water, the phenomena of bending of light when it enters from one medium to another medium is defined as water. That is called a refraction. So how can you define the refraction? Refraction means the phenomena of bending of light when it enters from one medium to any another medium. That is called what? A refraction. One is a reflection and another phenomena of that is a refraction. So reflection means bouncing back of light in same medium, and refraction means what? Refraction means the bending of a light when it passes through from one medium to any another medium. So let us understand why this light bends when it enters another medium. One medium is different from the another medium in terms of their optical density. So why it is happen? Because this is happening because the difference in the optical density of two materials. Suppose that now we are taking the two different materials. One is light, this air, another we are taking a water. So there are the difference between the optical density of both water and air. Means दोनों की जो density में काफी difference है. If we are taking the other things, just like we are taking a honey, oil or the glass slab, so इनकी जो optical density होती है, इनमें क्या होता है, difference होता है. इनकी जो density होती है, that optical density, that is a different. That's why these things can be happen. Okay, means so the optical density is the measure of the extent to which the medium transmits light or other electromagnetic radiation. What is this optical density? Optical density is what? The measure of extent to which a medium transmits light. Means light कितना उसमें से transmit हो पाता है. That extent should be what? Measured by this optical density. Optical density is an inherent the property of that medium. Water is optical denser than the air. If we are taking the two medium, one is a water and another is a air. So this water is a denser, optically denser than the air. Means water high density वाला optical density high है और air की कम है. If we compare अपन, if we are taking the water and honey, so honey is a more optical denser than the water. So due to the difference in the optical density, the speed of light is different in a different media. Because of this optical density, because of what? Because of optical density, the speed of light is different in a different media. Suppose that we are taking a glass slab, एक ग्लास की स्लैब ले लिए, कांची स्लैब ले लिए, तो उसमें भी उसकी जो स्पीड होगी वो डिफरेंट होगी एज कम्पेयर टू द एयर. एयर में वो जो है लाइट की स्पीड कुछ और होगी और वाटर में कुछ और होगी, हनी में जो है कुछ और होगी. वी आर टेकिंग द अनदर मीडियम लाइक ऑयल, सो उसमें भी क्या होगी, उसकी स्पीड अलग होगी, डिफरेंट होगी. ओके, सो दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन वाटर. दिस स्पीड ऑफ लाइट इज डिपेंड्स ऑन द optical density of that material. So the speed of light is the maximum in a vacuum, and if you see the speed of light is the maximum in a vacuum and then decreases it enters the other medium. फिर वो ना सबसे ज़्यादा maximum जो speed होती है light की, that is in water, that is in a vacuum, and then according this depends on the nature of medium or its optical density. So the greater the optical density, the less is the speed of light. Means जितना जो भी मीडियम जितना ही डेंसी होगा, जितना ज़्यादा हाइट उसकी ऑप्टिकल डेंसिटी होगी, उसमें उतनी ही इसकी स्पीड क्या होगी, स्लो होगी, लेस होगी. So when light enters from the one medium to the another medium, there is a change in the speed. So when suppose that now this light is coming from air, from the sun, through the air. So here this air is work like a medium. Now we can see this here. Suppose that now we have one this glass slab. This is what this glass slab. This is glass slab. Now we draw one. This line is coming like this. Okay. So now you see we have the two medium. This one the medium. Okay. So here, suppose that now light is coming from the air and it entered to here this point. बिल्कुल ग्लास स्लैब में एंटर हुआ, जैसे कोई ग्लास की स्लैब है तो जैसे इसने ग्लास की स्लैब में एंटर किया तो इस पॉइंट से इसकी क्या होगी, इसके जो ये लाइट थोड़ा सा बैंड हो जाएगा. Okay, because it entered into the different medium. This mu1 is this medium one and this medium is the different medium. And again from this फिर वो वापस पास हो गई इस ना ग्लास से पास हो गई, again it's come into enter into the air. So it moves towards the normal. It's moves away from normal and it's move towards the normal. So this bending of light, this is called what? The refraction, and this refraction is based on what? Optical density. Means जितना जिसका ज़्यादा ऑप्टिकल डेंसिटी होगी उतनी उसकी स्पीड कम होगी और वो मीडियम उतना ही जो है वो डेंसर होगा ना. So suppose now you see this in your textbook, this our activity is given here. Now you see in your textbook here, this page number 192, one glass, we have taken water, one glass and filled with some water and we kept one pencil in it. So if you see this one, so ये जो है just like आप थोड़ा सा बैंडिंग जो है जहाँ से बिल्कुल लाइट वाटर में एंटर कर रहा है वहाँ से बिल्कुल बैंड करता हुआ थोड़ा सा आपको दिखेगा. So this is due to water, due to this process of refraction, by the process of refraction. Now just another example so that you can see if you kept one coin into the tumblers or a water glass. So वो ग्लास के अंदर जो कॉइन होता है वो थोड़ा सा आप ऊपर की तरफ देख पाते हो. That is also due to this refraction. So the line drawn the perpendicular to the this reflecting surface is called this normal. We draw this one line, this one. This is called what? This is called normal. Now suppose that we are taking this water. This glass is or this beaker is filled with the water, and here we have water. This air. So this medium first, this is medium first, and this medium second. So suppose that now here we draw one line. This is called the normal. And if light is passed through this one, suppose that now light is passed this one. This is the direction of light. So here what? This is the air. Okay. या तो जो वो मीडियम क्या था एयर, जैसे इसको एंटर करेगा इट्स मूव्स अवे फ्रॉम दिस लाइन, मींस इसका जो डायरेक्शन है थोड़ा सा ये बैंड हो जाएगा. सो दिस बैंडिंग ऑफ लाइट व्हेन इट एंटर फ्रॉम वन मीडियम टू अनदर मीडियम, दिस इज कॉल्ड what? Reflection. This process is called what? Reflection. So in daily life there are many examples by which we can explain this process of reflection. So now you see in your textbook, this page number 192. So when here are some the rules related to the refraction, means some important rules that related to the refraction. When the light enters from the rarer to the denser medium. Okay. So here this air is called what? A rarer medium. This is called a rarer medium. And this water is a denser. Suppose that now we are taking examples of this water and another one honey. So this water is a rarer and this one denser. मीन्स जिसका जो डेंसिटी ऑप्टिकल डेंसिटी लेस होगा वो आपका रेयर मीडियम होगा एंड the substance which have a high optical density, that is called a denser. So here we can say that this air is a rarer than this water. So air is a denser, this rarer, and water is a denser medium. Okay. So when the light enters from the rarer means less denser to the denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Towards the normal means ये normal की तरफ जो है वो move कर जाएगी. Okay. It moves towards what? Normal. So suppose that now here this is the rarer medium. So when the light enters from the rarer to the denser, it bends towards the normal. So suppose that now here you can see this one. Normally I explain this in the bending, and suppose that now we are taking this. So towards the normal means like this. This is the normal. तो normal की तरफ जो है वो bend कर जाएगा towards the normal. Okay. When it is bend from a rarer to denser, light move towards, or you can say the bends towards normal. Okay, first things from a rarer to denser. So suppose that now we have this air, and second medium we have water. Okay, first we have the air and second medium is the water. So ये जैसे air से ना this medium 1 और this medium 2. So यहाँ से इसका light ये enter कर रहा है and this is the normal. तो इस normal की तरफ move कर जाएगा. And second thing is if it pass from the denser to rarer, then in that case light bends away from normal. Okay, away from the normal. So when the light enters from the air to the glass or the water, it deviates from its path and bends towards the normal. Suppose that now you can see this glass slab is given here. Okay, so if the light is passed from this air to into this glass slab, so it moves towards the normal. ये normal यानी normal की तरफ जो है वो मुड़ जाएगी. Normal की तरफ जो है वो move करने लगेगी, bend कर जाएगी. And in second case, if it moves from this denser medium, means from this glass slab, again here this the second point. At this point, this is the first point, ना? This second point. फिर glass में से वापस है, तो it moves away from this one. यहाँ पे जो से भी आएगा, this is normal. तो ये जो है, this moves towards the normal. इस साइड में मूव करेगा और जैसे ग्लास से वापस एयर में मूव करेगा तो इट्स बेंड्स अवे फ्रॉम द नॉर्मल. ओके, सो दिस थिंग्स यू कैन kept in your mind when the light is passed from a rarer to denser, it moves or bends towards the normal, and when from denser to rarer, it move away or bends away from the normal. ओके, रेरर से डेंसर में आ रहा है तो नॉर्मल की तरफ आ जाएगा और रेरर से डेंसर टू रेरर में एंट्री कर रहा है, इट्स मूव अवे और बेंड्स अवे फ्रॉम द नॉर्मल. सो दिस टू थिंग्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस यू ऑलवेज कीप इन योर माइंड. When light enters from the denser to the rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. So when light enters from water to glass into air, it bends away from a normal. Now we can understand why the pencil kept in the glass of water appeared bent. So now in this first activity, we see that when we kept one pencil into the glass which have some water in that, so it looks like a bending. So this is the bending of this pencil looks like a because of this refraction process. So in this case, the light has entered from air into water, deviates from its path and bends towards the normal. क्योंकि यहाँ पे where what happened here? This light comes from air and enter into the water, and air is this rarer medium as compared to this water. So it moves water towards the normal. That's why we see that this pencil just look like a water, the bending form. So hence the ray of light reaching from the pencil to our eyes appears to be coming from the bent position of the pencil. So let us discuss more about this refraction between air and a glass slab. Now you can see this in your textbook. This diagram is given here. So by this diagram it's very clear for you कि normally जो light को ऐसे pass होता है straight, but if we draw a normal, so now by the changing in a medium, there are the two different types of mediums. So change in the medium, the speed of light is also changed. That's why we observe this phenomena of refraction. Now you can go through this the refraction in the glass slabs, so that I already discussed here. You also understand by the this diagram. This is given in your textbook. So now next we are going to discuss some the real cases of refraction in our daily life. So now first you see this page number 193 of your textbook. The refraction in a real life means where what are the applications or where in our real life we observe this the phenomena of refraction. So real, first you see real and apparent depth means suppose that हम किसी को actually अपन suppose that some object are kept into the water bucket. Just like we kept or we put one coin into the water, a water bucket. So it looks like water. It looks like at the upper level, ना actual depth जो होती है वो कुछ और होती है और ऊपर की तरफ वो दिखता है. So this is because of water, because of this refraction phenomena or process. So you might have observed that the swimming pool appears the slower than its actual is. कि जैसे स्विमिंग पूल में आप देख रहे हो जस्ट यू आप इफ यू विजिट टू देयर सम रिसोर्ट दैट स्विमिंग पूल इज देयर है ना. तो स्विमिंग पूल वो जितना डेप्थ जितना गहरा एक्चुअल जो ना गहरा होता है उससे कहीं थोड़ा ऊपर की तरफ अपने को सॉलोवर दिखता है ना. सो दिस फिनोमिना इज ड्यू टू द इफेक्ट ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन. बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रोसेस ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन दिस लुक्स लाइक this change in the actual depth or apparent depth is there. When the light enters from water to air to the reach our eyes, it bends away from the normal. Hence, the water level appears to be raised and a pool appears shallow. तो इस कारण से बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रिफ्रैक्शन प्रोसेस वाटर जो है जितना लेवल पे होता है उससे कहीं ऊपर की तरफ थोड़ा सा दिखता है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रिफ्रैक्शन. The depth at which the water appears to be there is called the apparent depth, and apparent depth is less than the real depth. जिस level पे it looks like to us, that is the apparent level. That is not the actual level. Actual level जो होता है वो उससे थोड़ा ज़्यादा होता है, मीन्स ज़्यादा गहरा होता है ना. आप just you also observe at your homes, just take some water in a bucket और उसमें कोई भी एक ऑब्जेक्ट आप डाल दो. जस्ट लाइक यू पुट वन रुपीज़ कॉइन और 5 रुपीज़ कॉइन, तो वो कॉइन जो है आपको थोड़ा सा ऊपर की तरफ दिखेगा. सो दैट लेवल इज कॉल्ड एपरेंट लेवल, और जहाँ पे रियल में है दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्चुअल लेवल और एक्चुअल डेप्थ. सेकेंड थिंग्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द एक्चुअल सनराइज एंड एपरेंट सनराइज ड्यूरिंग द मॉर्निंग टाइम और इवनिंग टाइम ड्यूरिंग द सनसेट और sun rising. That is also you see some little bit of difference in that. So this is because of this refraction. So the refraction of light through the atmosphere gives rise to many intersecting phenomena. The sun became slightly visible even before the actual sunrise due to the refraction of light by the atmosphere. यानी जब ये जो है सनराइज होता है, सूर्योदय होता है, तो वहाँ पे क्या होते हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रिफ्रैक्शन प्रोसेस ड्यू टू दिस एटमोस्फियर, है ना, ड्यू टू द एटमोस्फियर और दिस एयर बिहेव लाइक वन मीडियम देयर. सो ये सूर्योदय होने से पहले कुछ टाइम पहले ही हमें वो दिखता है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस प्रोसेस. Sunlight gets deviates as it enters from a rarer medium into a denser medium. This leads to the appearance of the sun at a position different from its actual position. Hence, the sun appears to rise approximately 2 minutes before the actual rise. And the same things can be happen during the evening time or during the sunset. यानी 2-3 मिनट पहले आपको जो सूर्योदय जो है ना सनराइजिंग आपको दिखाई देता है. That is not the actual time, that is the apparent time, and these things can be happen due to what? Due to this process of the refraction. Next, the examples from the daily life, this twinklings of the stars. You can see the many stars, the twinkling in the sky. So this twinkling of the stars, it is also because of water, because of this refraction. So before reaching the earth, light coming from the stars passes through the many gaseous mediums and the vacuum in between them. Means light जो है ना स्टार से लाइट जो है ना अर्थ तक अर्थ पर आने से पहले एयर से और वैक्यूम से इसको पास होना पड़ता है. मीन्स फ्रॉम इट्स पासेस फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट मीडियम. सो व्हेन इट्स चेंज द मीडियम्स वी ऑब्जर्व द प्रोसेस ऑफ दिस रिफ्रैक्शन, है ना, क्योंकि लाइट एक मीडियम से दूसरे मीडियम में जब भी एंटर करता है तो कौन सी प्रोसेस होती है? रिफ्रैक्शन. So due to this refraction, we can see this stars like a twinkling. So it undergoes the refractions many times and its path gets deviated and becomes zigzag. Hence, the stars appears to be the twinklings. So means एक different medium से जब light pass करता है ना, that the light is coming from the stars. So that passing through the many different mediums like air and vacuums. So due to this change in the medium, the light also, the speed of light is also changed, and we can see this light can be deviated from its path, and we can see this the zigzag or the twinkling form of stars. So these all are the real applications, or you can say the real examples from our daily life where we observe the process of this refraction. Okay, so this is all about the today's class. In today's class, we discussed one important phenomena that is called what? The refraction, and this refraction is caused due to what? The change in the optical density. Okay, because it is the inherent property. एक किसी भी मटेरियल का एक ऐसा प्रॉपर्टी है जिसपे क्या बेस करता है? The speed of light. So when there is a change in the medium of a substance or a medium is changed, then the speed of light is also changed, and due to that we observe the process of this refraction. And then we discuss the refraction from a glass slab. एक कांच की स्लैब से कैसे रिफ्लेक्शन होता है, and what are the rules that related to the reflections. Means when the light is passed through the rarer medium to the denser, it moves or bends towards normal, and when the denser to rarer, the light bends away from the normal. Okay, that you also can see in our daily life many cases of refractions in our real life, apparent and real depth difference between the actual time of sunset and sunrising and the twinkling of stars. These all things, all processes are based on this refractions. Okay, so thank you. Have a nice day.